Well, there seems to be no end to the diplomatic tension between India and Canada over the killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar. The Canadian Parliament honoured the India-designated Khalistani terrorist on his first death anniversary. In a video that has now gone viral, the members of the Canadian Parliament can be seen observing a moment of silence in the House of Commons.
To silence in memory of Hardeep Singh Nijjar, assassinated in Surrey, British Columbia, 1 year.
India has sent a strong message reminding Canada of Kanishka Air India tragedy, which claimed 329 lives in 1985. In fact, the Indian consulate in Vancouver has announced a memorial service to pay tribute to the victims on Sunday. Taking to X, it posted, and I quote, "India stands at the forefront of countering the menace of terrorism and works closely with all nations to tackle this global threat." 23rd of June 2024 marks the 39th anniversary of the cowardly terrorist bombing of Air India Flight 182 Kanishka, in which 329 innocent victims, including 86 children, lost their lives in one of the most heinous terror-related air disasters in the history of civil aviation. End of quote. The face-off between the two countries comes just days after Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi met his Canadian counterpart Justin Trudeau on the sidelines of G7 summit in Italy. Remember, Hardeep Singh Nijjar, the chief of Khalistan Tiger Force, was killed in a targeted shooting in Canada last year. Canada has accused Indian officials of killing Nijjar, which in turn has strained ties between Ottawa and New Delhi. India, on the other hand, has denied the allegation. It has condemned Canada for promoting pro-Khalistan elements on its soil. Terry Milewski is a journalist and an author of Blood for Blood, 50 years at the Global Khalistan Project. He's now joining us live from Ottawa, Canada. Mr. Milewski, welcome to WION World is One. When the Canadian Parliament pays homage to a person wanted as a terrorist in India, doesn't that even strain the relationship between the two further or make the situation even worse? Your reactions?
Bound to increase tensions. It was intended to increase tensions. The people who have been getting away with this, these many years in Canada, have relied upon a traditional political dynamic in this country, and that is that I can't criticize you for playing nice with Khalistanis because you can turn around and accuse me of doing the same thing. And he does it, and she does it. We all do it, so we can't criticize each other for doing it because we're all after the same votes, and those votes just happen to be in districts which routinely decide Canadian federal elections. So they're all playing the same old game where you will notice that what happened in the Parliament in Ottawa was that there was no public debate about this. Nobody wanted to be on TV in a clip saying anything nice about Mr. Nijjar, the late leader of the Khalistan Tiger Force. No, they had a quiet little meeting between the parties behind the scenes. No public is aware of what happened, and they quietly made a little deal that we'll agree to have this moment of silence. And won't that be touching, and won't that be good for our constituents, the people that we want to vote for us in the coming election? So it's the same old game, and it's sad that nobody was willing to step out and say, okay, enough. They gained a little, they've gained a lot, now they're asking for too much. To ask the Canadian Parliament to stand and pay homage, as you rightly put it, to this man, this is a little bit too much. In fact, I would say it's a lot too much.
Mr. Milewski, talking about the constituency and the votes, this comes on the back of Trudeau reaching out to India. Does he really mean business, or is he doing politics to cater to a constituency? Your reaction again?
Well, it's the latter. I don't think that he means business, because I think this whole thing depends on ignorance. For example, and I know that Indians are very critical of Prime Minister Trudeau over this issue. Well, he happens to be in power. It's fair ball. But remember that all the main parties in the parliament are playing this game. I only need to mention the leader of the NDP, the party which holds the balance of power and is sustaining the Trudeau government. That's Jagmeet Singh is the leader, and he certainly isn't shy about demonstrating his Khalistani sympathies. And what about the deputy leader of the Conservative Party, which, if the pollsters are correct, stands ready to take over power? The pollsters say that Mr. Trudeau will lose power. Maybe Indians should start watching the Conservative Party a little bit more closely to notice that they're doing the same thing. I'm thinking, for example, of Tim Uppal, a member of Parliament, who's deputy leader of the Conservative Party, put out a statement on the 4th of June commemorating the Indian Army attack, the Operation Blue Star, in 1984, when the Army went into the Golden Temple. And he said that this was a case where the Indian Army intended to wipe out the community. It was intended to be a genocide. And hundreds, in fact, he said thousands of innocent victims were horrifically killed. Really? That's contrary to the historical record, but it's the kind of propaganda which he has taken dictation from the Khalistani lobby and repeated it on Twitter, or X as it's now known. So all the parties are playing the same game, and no, none of them are being serious. They're all just playing politics, and they don't know the truth. They haven't demonstrated any interest in knowing the truth of what happened in '84.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. I've been talking to Mr. Terry Milewski. He's a journalist and also the author of Blood for Blood, 50 Years of the Global Khalistani Project. Milewski, thank you for talking to us today.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.